Hybe.
You asked, I delivered, or will be delivering in this video and also the next. I'm gonna split it up into two simply because Hybe has a lot of labels, and so I'll be sharing tips for each of the labels as well as their audition tutorials. So far, here are the labels that Hybe owns so far in order of oldest to newest, I guess. So we've got Big Hit Entertainment, Pledis Entertainment, Source Music, B-Lift Lab, KOZ, and then Adore. Obviously, there are more like labels like outside of Korea, but we're going to be focusing on these simply because Hybe Japan and also Hybe Labels America are, I would say, completely different sectors rather than labels. So in this video, we're going to be doing Big Hit, Pledis, and Source Music, so come back in a couple of days for the other companies, the other remaining Hybe labels. But here's the thing about Hybe labels. Compared to the big three, a lot of them are quite new and still not very established. A lot of them have like one or two artists under each label, so it's really hard to determine what they're looking for. It's not very clear-cut compared to the big three, which have been around for decades and they've been building history for such a long time now. They really know what they're looking for. That's my little disclaimer. Let's begin with Big Hit Entertainment. Obviously, they have BTS and TXT as their main promoting groups right now, like the ones that are active and also groups. If you're auditioning for Big Hit with vocals, sing with emotion. Either go for songs that really highlight your unique tone and vocal color, or songs that have like a storytelling behind it. So consider the lyrics and then the emotions that follow each song choice. I'm sure we know a lot of pop artists that are sing-songwriters and really have like a sense of storytelling in their song choices, or like the songs that they write and also maybe even produce. Some examples might be like Taylor Swift or Gracie Abrams, like Olivia Rodrigo. All of them have their own stories in their songs, and you can see that as they're performing it. That's kind of the vibe that you want to carry and that you want to showcase to Big Hit Entertainment. The dance category is gonna be similar. Make sure you showcase your stage presence and energy. If you're able to audition with the understanding that you know the song well and you know the choreography, not just like knowing the moves, but obviously understanding what the moves mean and what kind of storytelling follows that, that'll be amazing. A very common mistake that I see in audition applicants is that you use about 60% of your energy instead of putting your all in, like 100%. It's very easy to tell that in especially beginner dancers, simply because they don't know that. I mean, what you think is doing your hardest and your fullest is not really what's executed onto the camera or what others might see. So make sure you're always putting more energy than you think you should be putting in. Bottom line, showcase your power and your control in your moves. Now for their online audition, they have a boys only audition, so you have to be born in or after 2006, and the category is any category that you can showcase your talent. Let's see how you can audition for them. So search up Big Hit Audition on Google and then head on to their website here. The language should be set to English, but if not, make sure to change that. Accept the cookies and then head on to their audition, which is right here. Click on to apply. First, you do have to verify your email, so just type in your email address right here. Click on to verify and then it'll be sent. And then click onto the online audition here. Fill in your name, your last name, your first name, your date of birth, your country/region, your profile picture, your application category, so there really isn't like a category that you necessarily need to pick, your gender, your place of residence, your phone, your social media, your messenger, so like any Line, Facebook Messenger, WeChat, Kakao Talk. I recommend putting Kakao Talk personally. Attach your image, which is pretty much just the profile photo, but also you could include your full body photo or your side profile. Attach your media files, your URLs. That's not necessarily, you can do one of either. And then how did you figure out about the audition? And then required consent forms, read through those, and then submit your application. So the next company is Pledis Entertainment, and they were actually not a company under Hybe originally. They were acquired by Hybe later on into the years, but they pretty much have 17, and they also used to have Nine, but a lot of the Nine members left, so some of them are no longer a part of Pledis Entertainment. The tips I want to give for Pledis Entertainment are actually really similar to JYP Entertainment, surprisingly. So if you haven't watched the Big 3 video that includes JYP, I would recommend watching that because a lot of the tips that I'll share will overlap. Some key points that I want to highlight is number one, there's no one right category, nothing that stands out too much. And second, being well-rounded really matters. And third, it's really great to have strong dance and vocal fundamentals. You see so many strong like aces in Pledis Entertainment. Ace What that means is pretty much you're very well-rounded. You've got all of vocal, dance, and also stage presence as well. So let's say you're not a main vocalist in 17, for example. If you were to be placed in another group, you would probably be the main vocalist. For the dance category, I really do not recommend going with like a cop-out choreography that's on the simple side. You really want to go for something that really showcases your power and maybe a bit on the complex side. I mean, look at 17's choreographies. I say this all the time and I really need to like rephrase it in a way that feels fresh, but it's so important. You really need to showcase your power and your energy. Now for vocals, I recommend showcasing your dynamic voice. So choosing a song choice that really showcases your vocal range and also your pitch control. I would say for Pledis, it's actually a good idea to sing a ballad song if that is of your strength. I'm dying. Anyway, so in 2024, they actually went to a bunch of English-speaking countries. So, you know, the United States, Canada for their audition. So it kind of does showcase that they want to target those who speak English. That is definitely a key point, like a plus, a brownie point per se, maybe a little more than a brownie point these days, because being able to speak English is so important. I mean, it's reaching like a completely different demographic, and it's very, very rare in new companies to have a group that don't have any English speaking members. The only one that I can think of right now is Islet, and yeah, that's kind of surprising. But I guess for Islet, they were founded through a survival show. They weren't able to, you know, select the members per se. So English speaking is definitely a plus. Now for their audition, they are looking for people that are born in or after 2007, no limitation of gender or nationality. And the categories are vocal, rap, dance, acting, and modeling. Let's head on to their audition tutorial now. Search up Pledis Audition on Google and then it'll lead you to this website here. So on here, change the language to English and then click on to the About Audition section, which is this page, and then it'll tell you about the qualifications. So born in after 2007, born in or after, no limitation of gender and nationality. And this is the audition process. The first step would be the email application. And then the second round is the on-the-spot meeting with the company's casting team, the second round. And then third is the release of results. Only qualified applicants from step 1 will be reached individually. Please be aware that unqualified step 1 applicants will not receive a notification, and unofficial individual application process and result confirmation is not possible. Here are the categories. Incomplete attachment in an application will be exempted from audition step 1 evaluation, and pictures should be at least 2, including the face front view and then your full body, and edited photos will be exempted from evaluation. So how to apply? Please copy the form below, fill it out, and then submit it to this email here. So be sure to include your name, birth date, nationality, height and weight, school, contact information / SNS ID, and then other special notes. So that is kind of like pretty much the form that they discuss here. Just make sure to have this in the body of your email and then also include the photos and videos that they ask for. The audition application is always ongoing and trainees will not cover any expenses once the contract is signed. The last company is Source Music. They used to have GFriend, but now they only have Le Sserafim under their label. Now, Source Music definitely prefers the dance category over the vocal category, I would say. They're really looking for clean dance moves, and as for the song choice, I would go with like more of the bold, high-impact dance performances that can really showcase your ability. So really showcase your power and energy and stage presence in a hardcore choreography that you can obviously follow well. I know you guys might be thinking of Le Sserafim in this example, but I'm actually more so thinking for GFriend. GFriend was a really well-rounded group actually for both their choreographies and also their vocal ability. So again, being well-rounded here would be a plus. I mean, being well-rounded in any company does serve you well. So as for their online audition, it is called the Source Daily Audition. So it's for people that are born in or after 2007, regardless of their gender and nationality. So as of 2025, that is people that are younger than 19 years of Korean age, not international age. The categories that you can audition for are vocal, rap, dance, self-introduction, and specialty. So those are all of the 3 labels, but we still have to head on to the audition tutorial for Source Music. Lastly, we're going to search up Source Music Audition on Google and head on to their website once again. So this one is pretty much the same as the other ones, but make sure you click onto English. And then they actually have various forms like Google Forms. For the submission, you may submit your application by selecting your preferred language among Korean, English, and Japanese. The successful applicants will be contacted individually. We're going to say apply for audition under 14 and it'll lead you to a Google form. Put in your email and then also read through the privacy policy and consent to it right here, and also personal information form as well. So because we chose that we are under 14 years old, there's an extra step that you have to consent to. So click onto yes, I agree. And then the next page is you do have to put in your legal representative's name / relationship to applicant, their contact number, and then their email address. Put in your information, so your name, height in centimeters and contact number, your birth date and year, your nationality and address, your photo from waist up that clearly shows your face, your video showing your talents such as singing or dancing, and then your messenger channel name and ID, and also related experiences, so awards, experiences as a trainee / casting, and then you'll not be able to edit or resubmit the application once it is submitted. Please make sure that all answers have been written correctly. The last page is just a click submit to finish, and that is pretty much all. The next video will be coming very, very soon. I hope to see you guys then, maybe in about 3 days, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!